and gentlemen, and welcome back to more DAC Dota action here in Group A. We are getting down to the wire of group stage action. We have VGJ going against Empire. I'm Dakota, joined again by good buddy Fogged. Fakota back in action.
Let's go.
Coming
off a pretty hype game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though it was a Naga game, you know, it was a little bit grueling and stuff. But Empire just looked incredibly good.
Yep.
Chappie probably the one I would say that needed to cool a little bit, just hit the brakes a bit.
Relax,
but
bro.
the rest of his team looked to be very disciplined and calm and just collected, understanding what they needed to do in the game. King R's Rubik, constant stampede steals all over the place, couple sleep steals as well. Ghosted with some beautiful initiations. Let's see how they bring it into this game. Monkey King picked up by VGJ. FY did have a bit of a better performance in the last one, but still.
It's like I almost feel like it's like they're forced to have to pick it up, though, because just the banning situation. So you obviously have to ban Meepo, and then VGJ are not going to ban Magnus. They would love to get Magnus, but of course Empire are going to ban it. They're going to ban both Abaddon and Magnus because, well, they know that that's what ROTK does best. So.
And then VG gets...
It's like, oh god,
they don't play Earth Spirit because we've seen FY play the Earth Spirit before, and he's definitely shown that he needs to either practice it a bit more. He's had some struggle with it. So yeah, they get put in a position where they have to take the Monkey King because Miposhka plays an excellent Monkey King, and now Empire seems like what they want. They get the Troll Warlord this time around. See what they want to do to grab with what synergy.
It's interesting that they don't just ban Monkey King over the Earth Spirit. I mean, Empire are good for the Earth Spirit, but yeah.
Yeah, I think after the performance from King R in the last game from his Rubik, yeah, I'd grab him Rubik every game.
Troll Warlord first pick, though.
That's an Empire thing that they've been doing.
That's kind of fun. I like that.
It's aggressive. It always gives you siege, like every single time, gives you roast potential. Your physical damage output throughout the game shouldn't really be a problem from your other heroes as long as you have one other one that benefits.
What can you do to take advantage of this, though? Kind of showing that hand at the start. Can you, punish it with the lanes or something? Can you, maybe set up something aggro against the trolls so we can have a good time?
The thing is, the troll's good in lane. That's the thing. If he has a poor man shield and you try to go aggro versus him, he's great. He's got a slow. He's got double built-in nukes.
There's got to be a weakness to showing him his first pick, though. I don't know how you can build a lineup around making sure troll's not a problem or that you have no problem dealing with them. It's just interesting. If Empire are in a position right now they could just get away with doing something like that, then I fear for VGJ. And they're just going to grab their second support. Already showing both of those straight out. Monkey King, Crystal Maiden.
Same ones as last game?
Yeah, I mean, okay stuns. Decent mana. It's fine.
Gives them some fight, but doesn't really give them lanes. Now it's nope, they cannot pressure. They cannot put the pressure on the troll. Monkey King can kind of roam around, but CM is kind of one of those.
This is just not.
He just kind of chills.
FY Fenrir, I've come to know and love kind of a thing, kind of a duo. So, but we'll see what VGJ can find from it here. Moving through the second phase of bans, now you got to start considering, maybe Invoker. It's got to go. I mean, what do you think? I mean, pretty good game from FN there. Or do you think that maybe VGJ could try to sneak their own Invoker for freeze? I just felt like based on the presence that he had in the last game, it might warrant some attention here in the banning phase.
Definitely a possibility.
Otherwise, Lifestealer is still out there, and that's always a tried and true. Certainly for VGJ, they'd love to creep it into the hands of aggressive.
Troll Warlord is quite good versus Lifestealer, though.
Oh, you're right, yeah. One of the few that would love to go against any man fighter. Ban on PA now. A PA Troll Warlord duo would definitely be very obnoxious.
Yeah, Empire really loves the troll. They've picked it 3 or 4 times here, 3 times already in this first phase coming out here, and they pair it up, with another high physical damage core.
Well, this is the first time we've been able to
cover them. Yeah, we unfortunately don't have time to see every single game, so we did not get to cover much of Empire. So we're a little bit rusty on these guys. But we do know they're big.
Ooh.
They're big. They're big like 4. The Meepo, the Troll, the Rubik, the Bat Rider that they've been playing a couple of games as well. The Ursa as well. The Chappie did have.
They paired it with a sniper in that game. I see. That's pretty funky.
Yep, they did that one a bit earlier.
Not looking probably to pull that one out too early on this front. Bans onto the Tinker here. Coming out as the blind would definitely be a bit of a problem for your troll. Slardar also has to go. Back on the side of VGJ here, coming off of that PA ban. We'll see what they recognize next as a possible problem here to have to deal with.
I like how they leave the Centaur. just because of like how many times King R was able to steal that Stampede in the last game. I think that's kind of what they're like going off of. They're like, okay, Stampede, the Centaur is a really strong hero. It's one of ROTK's high favorites, but we played super well versus it. He goes straight to the jungle, doesn't contest the lane. They're able to just move around without having to worry?
Could they just settle for something else, like pass on the Centaur, maybe get a Bat Rider for ROTK?
Bat's in a weird place. I don't know. Bat's like he's a good hero, but it's like he's also can be very useless in a lot of situations. It's like if you have the right heroes to build around it, if you get a great start and you get an early Blink Dagger, he can have like a super commanding force, but then he's not. He's just like a pick-off kind of thing rather than like a starter than like a big team fighter guy.
Okay. Well,
but definitely possibility. You know, they still could change things up just because they're having, they're having a lot of unfortunate luck. They're not playing at their best, I would say, and they're already in the lower bracket.
That would definitely say something, though. The fact that, as you pointed out, Empire gladly welcoming it with open arms, knowing that Rubik could make probably more use out of the Centaur than at least the Centaur did in the previous game. But here we go back the way of Empire in this one. By the way, VGJ did ban out the Jug, just kind of a well-rounded possible pickup for him.
They could still go for a Bat Rider on Empire to deal with the Monkey King for themselves.
That's true.
They go for the Ogre this time.
Bloodlust plus Troll ulti.
Yeah. I still wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, the Ogre. Oh, yeah, the Ogre for the Troll, but also Ogre to kind of like follow the Monkey King around as we've been seeing. Just like mirror the movements.
Watch them get like the Invoker again or something. They get Alacrity, Bloodlust.
Possibility. Trying to think what VG could grab up here. I mean, they showed their first two supports, and like we said, we don't really see that happen too often.
From DPL and stuff, I saw ROTK do a lot of Legion Commander, but I haven't seen much VGJ Legion Commander in DAC at all.
Maybe a Lina they could do. Pretty decent versus the Troll Warlord throughout the stages because he's not. I mean, he can get bursted in a way.
It's true.
It's a hero that's been rising in popularity as well in the mid lane. Always wins his mid, or her mid.
VGJ also one of the few teams that do occasionally pull out like Faceless Void, even in a core position. But that's like stuff like that what they were finding like possible success with too. It just feels like VGJ don't have that like same spark they had where they were pulling out all these cool picks. And now they've kind of, I don't want to say conformed, but they've been put in a position where they have to, be very touchy with their draft. Everyone recognizing their strong potential, have just been able to kind of play around it. And already sweating through a lot of their clock here. Have they already chewed through most of the reserve time? Lina, they end up going for a nice call there. And they did chew through pretty much all the reserve time for that pickup.
Rubik's got some nice spells to steal. All of Lina's spells are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Laguna's usually pretty easy to steal as well. Unless he like Laguna Dragon Slaves instantly, then it's a little bit tougher, but King R was pretty quick, but he did have the luxury of having, Aether Lens Aghanims in the last game, which lets you just sit in the back lines and always be able to steal.
5 seconds remaining.
All right, Empire back to their side.
What's the aggressive hero that matches up well versus a Troll Warlord? Is what I'm trying to think of here.
I've heard like Medusa can go toe-to-toe with Troll because you have the benefit, of course, of the Stone Gaze. But we don't see too much of her, and certainly
Medusa's also.
VGJ.
I mean, Medusa's pretty immobile. That's the thing, and now it's going to be like a bloodlusted Troll Warlord. Like people are going to be just like running around all over the place, kiting around.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe a possibility, but
it's not too many man fighters though that we see in this meta, at least.
No, I mean the big one that stands out is like okay, Empire takes the Centaur for themselves. They're probably feeling pretty great about that.
Yeah, that gets Troll Warlord into the action that much faster.
Doesn't let him get kited either. Also, if he is able to get like the Aghanims later on, then it's where the susceptibility of him being a little bit squishy toward the Lina gets removed. Gives him a clear-cut initiator. Just a very good pickup for Empire here. Didn't want to go for the Bat Rider this time around, just trying to change it up, even though the Bat Rider versus the Monkey King, as we've mentioned a couple times, you get the Flying Vision. Okay, there we go. Team VGJ go back for a Terrorblade. They have not really been grabbing this hero too often, but it has been banned versus them a few times, but it does fit into, of course, what they need. They need building hitter right now. They need a late-game scaling hero that can actually deal and kind of stand toe-to-toe with the Troll Warlord as long as you can keep your distance.
Yeah, but Empire could pull out that secondary kind of core here with their 5th and final pick for what their potential mid laner could be. There goes that ban on the Bat Rider here. So ROTK's options continue to thin out a bit. without having access to the Centaur now and the Bat Rider. That leaves, like I said, there's a Legion Commander. We used to see Tide Hunter a bit back in the day for OTK, but I don't know if you want to pick a Tide into a Rubik, giving him more delicious options to go for.
Yeah, and that's like the Nyx, and that's never great. I mean, Tide is what they have picked it earlier.
What about Nyx Assassin?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. It's like there's not really any direct things that it's great for. Sure, you can like Carapace for the return and maybe stun him instantly for that, but maybe it gives them enough pickoff for they want. But Sniper ban out from them. As you mentioned, they did run the Troll Warlord Sniper earlier.
Yeah.
So you can't put that past them. The Invoker's still in the pool if they want to go for something like that to give them a little bit more variety in their draft still, to give them that spell and team fight on top. But
who's that guy?
We have not. Is this like the first time we've seen him?
Oh my God, is VGJ really like? Well, I don't know what the hell else to pick.
I have. Is this? I'm gonna check really quick.
First time in DAC.
This might be the first DAC playoff one. Like we said, we did not get to see all the games.
It.
People might be yelling at us and being like, "No, you morons! It's been picked already." But I'll find out in a second.
I haven't seen it. That's for sure. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that or not. Maybe they're just like, yeah, let's pull this off and dust it off for fun.
We reduce. I mean, Troll Warlord is an agility hero, so you do reduce his damage by a good chunk with the Atrophy Aura. The Root could be a little bit annoying.
Yeah. I don't know. What about the laning? RTK has had a struggle in these few games.
All right, let's find out.
This laning.
Oh,
come on! Empire! I thought you were our bros!
Has Underlord been picked?
Alchemist comes out.
I did see the Alchemist. Yeah, I'm ignoring that.
Alchemist.
I'm ignoring that. Underlord has not been picked here yet.
Woo!
So we get a first Underlord, it looks like, unless I don't know how to use this website.
ROTK is going to be our first Underlord of DAC. We'll see how it goes. Alchemist, My Chemical Rage. I almost call it My Chemical Rage, thinking of My Chemical Romance. Chemical Rage plus the Troll ulti seems pretty exciting, but
heavy scaling. Everybody, 3 heroes benefit from Aghanims quite heavily.
I mean, that would say that the Troll could get a bit proactive, I guess. Are you going to move as that 4-man squad to allow the Alchemist to farm up? Can the Troll be like a good mid-game fighter?
Yeah, definitely. With the Bloodlust, if your Centaur has a good start too. Look, it's going to be really important to watch this Ogre Magi, what he decides to do with his time following the Monkey King around. Same thing with what FY decides to do with his time.
Yeah, as has already been mentioned, FY's Monkey King is very interesting. His first showing on it was definitely a bit suspect, but in this last game was a bit more mobile. But
yeah, he definitely had a couple nice plays.
Finding those early game opportunities, though, is going to be a bit tricky. We know FY in his best pairings with Fenrir as a duo, being able to get lots of setups, but Fenrir on the Crystal Maiden might be a bit more passive for this day. So let's get into it now, folks. It is our last game of Day 2 group action here for DAC.
And why not close it out with an Alchemist?
Of course. Of course. Nightmares of Alchemist. All right, let me get the last hits and eyes on the way. Early smoke to be flying out here from VGJ. You see our early TP. Monkey King is bald. Is that just for me?
No, he is bald for me as well. There we go.
There we go.
Now
Okay, order has been restored. Thank goodness. Sets up an in, and he gets the early ward down. Nice
so I think
vision for him. But
in this one, the Ogre should probably just be emphasizing on the dual lane, just to make sure that the Centaur can get like a decent start, level 1, level 2, and then make the way toward FN, because Alina versus Alchemist, Alina's actually able to pressure the Alchemist in a bit. And we do see the Rubik actually, I believe, get a ward. Yeah, he does get a deny. The first obs ward that was placed, he does end up killing, so a little bit of gold gained his way. He does have a last hit, right? I'm not silly, am I? No, he does have a last hit.
Who, Rubik?
Yeah, Rubik killed a ward with his initial sentry ward.
Yes, he did.
And now ROTK is centurying that sentry.
Oh, but he won't have the vision, though, unfortunately. And he opted to go straight for the PMS on this one.
Very hard for them to, and by very hard, I mean impossible for them to zone out the Centaur level 1. Maybe the Ogre doesn't even have to go up there, to be honest with you, because Crystal Maiden tickles Monkey King and Terrorblade. They all kind of just tickle the Centaur early on, so he might just be able to stand there on his own, and the Ogre Magi might just be able to emphasize on securing the Alchemist's first few levels, so he gets a couple nice levels in Acid Spray to be able to deal with the Lina, and then just run around and maybe
it's gonna be
whatever.
It's going to be a good lane for either the Alch or the Centaur, it does feel like, because if they're not putting the Monkey, if they're putting the Monkey, I'm probably just going to repeat what you said. If they put the Monkey King at the top lane, the Centaur could be forced back a bit, but then Ogre could just hang around with the Alchemist and give him a good time. Or Ogre goes up to join the Centaur, and they have a fantastic time.
Yep.
So
he's got the boots, so you can already tell he's like, I'm going to have to be moving around between the lanes.
Yeah.
Like either mid and top or even maybe going for kills on the bottom lane. We'll see what he tries to do.
I guess we can at least inspect bottom lane to see what's in store for them. Chappie's hanging around a bit. It's going to be the Troll and what looks like Rubik kind of hanging out. You know, Underlord here. So let's talk a bit about his recent extinction to the game. What do you think it was that kind of just took him out? Obviously, he had been hit from the frog a little bit here and there, but
4% atrophy, level 1.
Yeah.
The 5-man overall has been kind of dwindled a bit as well. He's usually like, he's like the king of death ball.
It was at its peak for like Dota pit time, and then it was over.
Yeah.
And then the mighty have fallen right after that tournament.
The first point of atrophy is very, like, it's only 4%, but then the second point is pretty good. You gain an extra 12% all the way up to 16%, so it makes it back into what it was previously. But it does make him suffer a bit more to start out.
Well, we'll have to see if ROTK can try to make the most of it here and not get zoned back and, you know, try to survive through the first few levels so that Underlord could be feeling a bit more confident with himself. All right, well, Fenrir has rejoined into the game, so it looks like we can get underway in just a moment. It's a late night as it is. We want to enjoy some frickin' Dota. So let's get into it. And I'm curious now.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just like actually checking one thing really quickly just to...
Still the courier image right here for Fenrir. So does he go top? Is he going to help out top?
That's right. I was like, what was the other big change that happened to him? It was his movement speed. He was 305. He got put all the way down to 290. I knew there was another big one that really hurt him.
Big slowy.
Yeah, his Pit of Malice cooldown got increased as well. His talents got a little bit reworked. Actually, his talents got buffed, but him overall as a hero got hit pretty hard by the reduction of his speed. I mean, that 15 movement speed's pretty important as an offlaner.
And it also put that in account with the XP change. He's
yeah,
probably
the XP
not going to get that level 2
yeah.
as fast as he used to.
Yep.
So this is tough, man. We'll have to see if ROTK can manage or if Chappie, the relentless Chappie, as we've seen, might just like bully him straight out of the bat. I mean, look at that. He's already confidently moving forward, looking to wait for a ranged creep here, but there is no creep. So
yep.
he'll keep it
Mid
scouted
lane.
out. Yeah.
Ogres just starts. Oh!
Wait.
Freeze actually, I think he lagged. That looked like he did because he put down a branch and tried to eat it himself, but it was there for like 5 seconds and Ogre actually eats it. So Ogre has double region versus
Ogre
the
just
Lina.
ate the tree and Freeze paused it for himself? Oh, that's a bummer.
That is a massive bummer. Now he's going to eat a regular tree, so he has only singular region, but Ogre now has double region. He's just going to sit in the mid lane and make Freeze's life a little bit
that's
just
a bit
quite
awkward.
miserable.
He's like, oh, thanks for the salad now. And now the club comes in. Oh, that is tough. Alchemist is going to be grinning on this one here. But that does mean that FY can hang in the top lane and try his best to zone back Ghost Chick. That was the exchange, after all, this early laning phase.
He went for the Jingu so he could actually be zoning rather than the tree dance. And, ooh,
yes.
gets
Ouch.
3 hits on him with the plus 75 bonus damage.
Yeah, that's crazy. So that is going to be the bit of the trade here. Aggressive will benefit from that bit of push, and Ghost Chick will just have to wait to see if the creep wave will move closer towards his tower, and he can benefit from a bit of that XP share. But as you can see, that means that Ogre is going to keep doing his thing, stalking this Lina and making sure his life is as miserable as hell. So let me see. Oh, wait, what's happening back here? Freeze running up. He's like, let's hit the shrine.
Making his life miserable.
All right, and then they'll walk out. Looks like ROTK has been able to get to level 2.5, so he wasn't bullied back too hard, but King R is trying to deal with the wave a bit. Gets a couple denies.
Yeah, definitely hard to zone him with just 2 heroes. I mean, the Rubik and Troll at the first few levels, they don't really have great kill potential unless they get a lot of harassment on him. With an Ogre rotation, they could, but
he's actually got more CS at the moment than the Troll does, so he's holding his own okay. We'll have to see how things fare as the levels do come on for the Troll, and he can have more tools to work with to try to bully him out from the lane a bit. And an Invis rune now picked up from your Ogre. Heads up, just misses the opportunity to get that 2-minute bounty rune snipe from VGJ. Flyer there now. And just some XP going to be sapped up a bit. But he is currently being stalked by Mr. Miposhka.
They don't have double edge, but they might be able to go for the chase down here for FY.
Okay.
Anyway, they have the level 2 on the Ogre. They're going to have the stun. Yep, they should be able to bring him down quite easily with this.
Okay, nice double smacks come out. Ghost Chick gets a kill, and suddenly he's not going to feel like he's going to be as bullied as he was at the start of the game. So a nice little uplifter there for Empire.
He's going to have Tranquil Boots finished up already on Centaur. That's going to be just lovely for him.
Jeppy gets the pull back down here to the bottom lane. Best thing going for VGJ, though, is the top CSer is still aggressive here, making the most out of that top lane. But as mentioned, Ghost Chick's got to be feeling more confident on the other side.
RTK is getting a lot, though. Level 3, almost level 4, as you said. He's leading.
So do you I guess
CS?
you build up the same. You know, it's like you get a lot in the off lane, kind of like Darkseer style. Go for the first mech, have the utility, and at that point you can team fight.
I mean, that is the one. This hero absolutely needs to do that. And we've been seeing a lot of the Abaddons and stuff going for like Midas and Green and stuff, but Underlord is not one of those heroes. I mean, maybe he could go for a Midas eventually, but he's definitely just a Guardian Grieve guy, you know.
Yeah.
Just Arcane Boot mech.
Just curious if they have a lot of 5-man or maybe even 4-man potential around that or not. Freeze should be able to have a say in the matter with getting Laguna at the time and being able to offer some bursting potential, but as far as taking towers, it might be a bit tricky. They don't have very good tower takers. Crystal Maiden, Monkey King.
Just a Terror Blade.
Just a Terror Blade, of course, but he's one man who's good enough to kind of do the job alone.
Yeah.
With Metamorph, of course, which he has now, and he commits it. But Ghost Chick's already out on the other side.
Do they have Fenrir in Rage? No, they don't. All right, well, time to press their tower.
Yeah, it's like, well, I got this out while we're here. Why don't we go ahead and just see how much damage we can get on that tier 1. Is it going to force Ogre over? Well, Ogre's heading over to snipe the 4-minute bounty. But we'll see if Empire considers some extra assistance, or
maybe
if they
even
will
FN comes up and throws an acid spray. Nah, he's just going to stay and do his own thing.
Okay. Whoa, look at this. FY trying to get the snag here. I don't blame him. You got to be thirsty with this Monkey King. Got to get that early lane aggression and maybe get some opening opportunities, but not easy. Ogre's too tough of a target.
Bloodlust the tower. That's a pretty good way to defend it early on,
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, just about half of its life taken down. That's not the worst thing ever for that Metamorphosis. Oh, back at mid lane, how's Freeze doing here? 24. Ooh,
might be able to get FN here.
Nope.
One or two more hits and he would have had him, but not quite in range.
FN 25.
Bottom lane, this is where RTK now starts to get gone on here. Will they be able to get the bashes needed? Will they be able to bring him down? No, it does not look like they will.
Bit tonky now. PMS helping there. Be able to avoid the trouble, but you can see now Empire feeling a little bit more confident that the levels are coming together here for the Troll and for the Rubik. Having both Telekinesis and Fade Bolt, maybe now they can get opportunities to go onto RTK like this one.
This time they might be able to get him.
Now they get the Telekinesis and the pullback, and there they have it. So second try is all they need to get it done. And yeah, just with some time and some levels here, Empire have what they need to be able to get some kill opportunities. And suddenly on the other side of the world, Ghost Chick is confident enough to stomp and start slashing at aggressive here. You can feel the turn of the tide in the early game now.
This is going to be a problem. The support's not being able to assist aggressive right now. They're leaving him a bit alone. It's going to be Ghost Chick probably just pressuring a bit and free farming in that off lane.
Monkey King can't do it alone. And Crystal Maiden has to just go to the jungle and farm for herself, I guess. And as Monkey King tries to make an approach to maybe have a presence with ROTK in the bottom lane, Rubik's already there waiting for him.
Uh-oh, that's a haste rune. King R's got to book it.
But he walks right to ROTK.
Very dead.
He's dead for sure. Grab that bounty, though. Oh, I can't get it. And, well, FY will grab it right in front of your dead body.
That's pretty unfortunate from any other room. And anything else, and he would have been just fine. It's literally only a haste rune that would kill him there.
He's feeling it right now. He's got the power up, flying on Nimbus. And see if he can get an opening here, maybe. Crosses paths, sees FN, and, well, jumps to a tree. The turnaround they certainly needed here. ROTK had just been taken down, so it's nice for him to kind of be able to get a bit of a confidence booster knowing that there's going to be no Rubik to zone him back. He can work through this wave a bit and fire his way up to level 5, sword level 6.
Both teams, I think, are pretty happy with how this game is, the early game is setting out. FN getting some pressure on him now here. This could be the big one right now.
Will they have enough? Will the Laguna do it?
There we go.
Yes, it will. With the Dragon Slave, they will be able to burst through the mighty regen of his ulti.
Great movement by FY so far in this game.
Yep. That's what he has a quota to meet on this Monkey King, and there's his first notch for it.
Yeah, he's putting down very aggressive wards too. One for the river, and then one to watch the jungle camps on the left side there, and the bounty rune being picked up from the alchemists.
Monkey King to the top lane now. If they find maybe a new opening, they have Metamorphosis there. Oh, there it is. So it's either possible kill on the Ghost Chick, but either way, they're walking away with a tier 1. Or they're going to try to. Let's see. Anyone from Empire have a say in the matter? There goes the early glyph. And FY, ooh, it goes to see that. He tried to eat the tree that FY could have been on, but does end up just sidestepping away from the spring, and their aggressive will be able to get the tower down. Actually, Dyer gets the last hit, but tower down nonetheless.
Man, ROTK is already level 6. He's actually putting a lot of pressure onto Chappie. Chappie has no regen. He's just getting spammed down by Firestorm. Looks like he's trying to go for a play.
Caster's
ROTK
curse
by himself, though. Oh, yeah.
Chappie's like, oh, putting a lot of pressure on me, huh? Runs it right back to ROTK and says, be quiet, Fogged.
I've been good at that lately, actually. Every time I say it, someone ends up dying when I do
that's credit to Chappie and credit to Empire for playing a lot of Troll Warlord, because it's like they know the limitations of the hero, and he's like, I may look like I'm a weak and wounded kind of a guy, but I know when I have an opportunity to jump and pounce, and he just runs right through RTK there.
I think it's like he also recognized, he's like, man, if I just sit here passively and just try to farm it, I'm just going to constantly get spammed down by Firestorm, so I just got to kill this guy and get him out of my lane.
Well, it was a good kill, but it didn't stop ROTK from coming back to the bomb lane, unfortunately, as he will make his quick return. And it looks like FN has decided to reside in the jungle. This will be nice as he can build his way towards his Radiance. King R can get the mid lane so that sick Rubik can get his level 6 online. Get some spell steals underway.
I'm hoping to see some sweet Sunder steals or something along those lines. We'll see what ends up coming down, though. Again, Chappie looking to try to put some pressure onto ROTK, but it's under the tower. Doesn't want to be too crazy just yet.
Nah. All right, Miposhka.
Uh-oh,
With
top
Ghost
lane.
Chick.
Aggressive.
Hits
Does
him
not
with-
have Sunder.
Look how big that Centaur is with the Bloodlust. And aggressive gets hit with the Ignite. As you said, no ulti. Trying to hide within the trees. Gets hit with 1 stun, 2 stun, and a series and flurry of right clicks here. But
They were in fear of the Sunder. They don't know that he doesn't have it skilled.
yeah, and it's like, we're not doing enough damage to burst past that possible Sunder, so they actually just let him go. Little they know that when they go back to check the replay, they're going to be hating themselves. Now to the tree, top up and above. FY, good connection with the spring. Makes the slow happen. The whirling axes will come out, but
oh, the miss!
Stampede with the miss. Might allow him to make it away. Will he go for the spring? No, he doesn't go for it.
Wasn't up yet.
Maybe seeing Rubik there.
He still had like a second or two.
Oh,
on it,
you're
yeah.
right. You're right. Oh my goodness, Chappie, the butt clench.
Good communication coming out from them. The instant stampede as soon as it looked like he was going to go down.
Well, a lot of tension though, as VGJ will just cut the wave even, and keeping all the force and pressure down towards this bottom side.
They got a glimpse of of FY there.
Whoop. Chappie here by the shrine, able to get it off. Freeze thinking about moving in, still holds that Laguna.
He's got a haste
Doesn't
rune
want
too.
to pop it off yet, but
He feels pretty
as he
safe.
moved, look at King R. Swipes and steals the Dragon Slave now. VGJ happy to confidently dance on the high ground position there.
During all of this, though, there's a Centaur free farming.
Yes, he is.
He's about to have a Blink Dagger.
Yes, he is. He's got his eyes on it here.
Uh-oh, looks like they might be able to chase down FY here. He does have the tree hop, though, so it will be a little bit difficult for them to go for that one.
And they're looking to get themselves back to that bottom lane here. Aggressive had popped out his Metamorphosis too, but they weren't able to get too much added pressure onto the mid lane, so he takes that instead to the jungle to farm out those camps. As he tries to finish out his Yasha build-up. I thought that we've been seeing some Terrorblades go for maybe early Dragon Lances, but I guess is it still Yasha build-up kind of a thing?
The Yasha's faster, and you want your peak timing is like your Manta style. I think Miracle did still go for the Dragon Lance into the Manta style earlier. So it does. I think it's just like player preferences, which ones you want to do. The Yasha obviously makes you farm faster because you move faster from camp to camp, while the Dragon Lance gives you some survivability if you want to be able to get involved. But he definitely needs to farm as hard as possible since he's versus an Alchemist. And now he's, I mean, this Centaur already has a Blink Dagger, and it's 12 minutes in is going to be a huge problem for VGJ.
Why don't we... He's going to just wait out the clock till it comes up here. And he's got it now.
For a smoke coming out right away?
Yeah, just perfect.
Yeah.
Just perfect.
No hesitation. King R also has
smoke
Dragon
on the
Slave
other
too.
side too here from VGJ, also in that mid lane.
They don't have a clear initiator though, so that is the one thing. Is the Ghost Stick Centaur with a Blink Dagger is definitely an advantage for that though. But they do have eyes on FN. Looks like that's going to be the kill that they want to go for
But
here.
they have that Stampede.
Radiant gets a scan onto
Ooh, Spring.
aggressive.
He pops the ult immediately. There goes the Stampede. Can they blast him down? They're looking to go for it, and they will get it.
Trade for trade. Aggressive gets brought down in the mid lane as
Oh,
well.
yeah. Identical trade at that. There will be follow-up, though. Pressure onto the tier 1 here in the mid lane, while VGJ already got that tower taken down. Good pick. I mean, you got to say it is a bit of a better pick for VGJ, considering the net worth advantage that the Alchemist was already holding.
Yeah,
Nice quick escape.
Empire actually got more gold from the kill somehow. When
Oh,
I was looking at
really?
the fight recap, yeah, I'm not sure how that happened.
Huh.
They got like a good 150 more gold or 250 more gold.
Well then.
Yeah, and I don't know how actually that makes sense because it's an alchemist who got killed, but meh. Maybe the fight recap was wrong because that didn't really make sense to me. But
Nice. King R's like, I'll be happy to take the stolen Firestorm here to be able to burst back the waves myself.
that's also a very good spell to steal.
Mm-hmm.
Percentage-based damage.
I'd like to see him steal the ulti, Dark Rift. That'd be pretty baller.
It
RTK.
shouldn't really be that hard to steal either.
Yeah, pretty obvious that it was committed. We'll see, though. RTK back in the jungle. Actually, dual jungle action here for VGJ as it's feeling like some of these lanes are a bit unsafe. I don't know. You know, obviously, ever since the debut of that Centaur Blink, as long as he remains kind of off the radar here, it's a bit concerning for VGJ as the farm.
As he shows top.
Yeah, he's like, there I am. Pokes his head out in one corner and then goes back into the dark again.
ROTK has his mech finished up, so he's fairly tanky. Mech with the raindrop, arcane boots.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe you get that together with Aggressive in his Metamorph and just try to finish out some tier 1s, move forward for tier 2s.
Still don't know how much they really want to be bringing aggressive. Like, Terrorblade's one of those here that he takes time. He really needs to get his items online before he really becomes that driving force.
He's scary looking, but he's a boy that needs a lot of nourishment to really become that big, big bad.
Radiance online for the Alchemist now already, so 14 minutes, Armlet Radiance. Empire is feeling very good about this one. Another smoke
There's
coming out.
Smoke, but as that happens, they already made a committed jump onto RTK, and he's not
doesn't
even
even
going to be able
get
to
the
get the
mech
mech.
off.
Yeah, but look at this. VGJ actually considering fighting? I don't know. Maybe thinking with the Stampede already now they could do something about it, but this Alk does have that Radiance, and they're moving in. Aggressive, gets off the Metamorphosis, but he gets stunned from the Telekinesis right away. Pops out the Sunder, looking to dish it out, but he gets quickly slashed down.
He stole the Sunder, too, from King R already.
Wow.
Instant steal from that one.
And a tier 1 gets dropped. I mean, VGJ thinking that they could take that fight for a possible opening there, but I think once they lost RTK in that mech, it was not going to go so well.
It's like now it's Vici can't do anything for quite a while. I mean, they can fight with 4 heroes, which I think they should be doing anyway, but Metamorphosis was committed and he died instantly. So now there's no meta for 2 minutes. I don't think that they should really be involving the Terrorblade so much. I mean, he needs to be farming. He needs to be able to farm versus an Alchemist if he wants to be able to just fight him later on, but they're trying to bring him and involve him. It just looks like they are very uncomfortable with the playing with this Alchemist last pick. I mean, it was a last pick Alchemist, which is really messing up their entire game plan that they kind of had going for themselves.
See how frantic VGJ's buy language is going to be at this point here. And, you know, they can't acknowledge the fact that they're just going to have to try to farm it out and race it against Empire. But that kind of opening here, Empire know that they're in total control and can just kind of leave the Alchemist still to his own devices and continue to move as that 4-man hit squad for any time that the Stampede is up. But at this point, actually feeling good enough to move into the Roche Pit and take the initiative there. VGJ don't want this to happen. Oh, a commitment. Stomp onto the illusion from Ghostic. Pulls him out from the dark, and now they consider isolating Chappie.
Oh, nice Sunder. But
tries to sunder his own life away. The Laguna Blast, though, is going to be there, and they will get the finish onto Chappie. Attempted save. Very nice there from the Rubik, but they won't be able to get it. VGJ obviously not going to be able to do the Roche themselves, but very happy to be able to stop Empire from doing it.
Nice there from Freeze, taking a page out of the Sumail book from earlier, the Phase Yule's build, and he actually goes for the 80 Light Strike Array damage as well instead of the 30 respawn time.
Bring on in.
Viposhka getting pressured, getting chased out. He is quite alone. The stun follow-up, and he should be brought down quite easily. So, all right, very nice movements coming out from Vici.
That's 3 kills and a tier 1.
Without meta.
Without meta.
That was while meta was on cooldown the whole time.
Oh.
So definitely a bit of a mistake there from Empire, but Vici capitalizing on that one heavily.
Yeah, all led in with a precious little Crystal Maiden illusion that Ghostic was happy to jump on.
Lena illusion, right?
Oh, was it Lena?
It doesn't matter.
One of the sisters.
It was an illusion.
Over in front, Empire now have to kind of shrug that one off as best as possible as Chappie gets back into the work of that neutral camp, trying to, looks like, finish out a BKB here, just holding the Yasha as a trusty Yasha for now.
Yeah, majority of Vici's damage is magical at this moment in time until the Terrorblade's able to get to a better point. ROTK was spotted really quickly. Ghostic now looking to go up to set up for the kill.
Creeping their way, ROTK hanging by the shrine.
He knows something's
He knows.
up.
Pump fakes a couple, catches a 4-man root, but it gets quickly stolen. Empire immediately 180. Step back the other direction.
Bottom lane, FN looks like he's trying to go for a solo kill here on FY, and he should be able to do it just easily. Stunned from the tree line under
Great
the acid
shot.
spray. Yeah.
Easy monkey food right there. Freeze will step on in to kind of help with the lane a bit, but now has level 2 Laguna for the added burst potential. And I don't know, what would you like to see from Empire here? I mean, I've already acknowledged like they could just keep the Alchemist to his own devices, farming up, which is here in the top lane, but keep moving as a foursome. They tried to earlier onto RTK, as we saw. Continue to see more of that, though?
Yeah, I think just the same thing. They can just keep running around as this 4-man unit.
Yep.
Anytime they see a potential to go for a pickoff, that's when they can, if they do get a big pickoff, that's when they just go straight for the Roshan, and that's massive for them. So I think it's just the same style that they should be doing. They don't feel pressured at all when they have an Alchemist in the game, and they have multiple Aghanims that can be pulled.
But they haven't gone back to the Roche yet. It looks like FY has been hanging out by the pit for now, just kind of keeping tabs on it. But Empire just fine, you know, like, well, we don't want to risk getting into an awkward fight, force our Alk to kind of engage with us. They'll smoke, and they've drawn out that they're going to head all the way up and over here and go for an invade. I bet they have some wards on hand. They do. So if they don't catch a fight, they'll at least be able to get some aggressive vision down and see exactly where the rotations could be going between either ROTK or even aggressive in that jungle.
Centaur's pretty scary when he's bloodlusted.
He's huge, man. He looks like
his
some
axe
sort
is
of
massive.
Like, crazy monster.
Oh,
jump
FY.
back. FY on the other side, caught within the side.
Yeah.
Will be quickly taken down.
Quick grab.
Aggressive and ROTK here. Are they thinking about fighting?
Aggressive.
Chappie rolls in,
get
gets
stunned
hit
up.
with
Are they
the
gonna be able to burst
bash.
him?
Spring is in. They get the lift. Can't quite get the Sunder. Gets fade bolted at the finish. They will get the Laguna. Just a assertive takedown on the Rubik. The Uberlord trying to take the Uber out, but he can't go away, and it's an immediate 5-man wipe. Just like that. Whoa.
That's concerning.
This may be a problem for VGJ.
Aggressive just there's too many different forms of lockdown for Aggressive, unable to get his Sunder off. He was literally just completely bursted down from full, and now, like we were just mentioning, they get a couple nice key pickoffs, and they can just go straight for that Roche with the Vlads, with the Bloodlust, as well as the Acid Spray on top. It drops quite quickly, and they stay at full health the whole time.
It feels a little like game number 1, except obviously there's no Naga here this time. So I don't know if VGJ have that lifeline to fall back on. Terrorblade certainly does not have nearly the same skill set to be able to make that work. So unless something crazy happens here, VGJ are in certain doom, and there is a clock ticking.
It feels like their team fight is so lacking for VGJ. It's like they have the Pit Lord, which is pretty strong at team fighting, and they have the Monkey King, but I feel like I don't see the Monkey King ult actually even come out or do anything, and the Underlord either gets bursted down too quickly to be able to do anything, or everybody's already dead, and he's alone, and he's like, well, now I'm here. Now I'm Pit Lord.
So even if they were able to survive, I mean, it has to be them and Aggressive surviving, because Aggressive's the only one really bringing the damage.
Yeah.
Not in a Laguna.
So much burst coming out from Empire, though. With this early Blink Dagger coming out from Ghostic, King Ara getting some nice spell steals as well.
Well, back to the drawing board here for Empire. Back to the 4-man movement. And here it flies through to the bottom lane, where they know they still have a tier 1 standing to finish off. Now, it does look like VGJ want to maybe pull out a defense on this tier 1. They've rotated everybody to the area here.
Aggressive's TP is on cooldown for about 10 more seconds.
Yeah, they'll have to wait for that. His Metamorph is still up and at the ready here. Do they have the time to wait? Empire could kind of scout the trees here a bit. Plant that Obs just outside the range.
FN just forcing in the mid lane as much as possible. Now he's going to bots toward top, push that one out as well, and he's going to have his Octarine finished up on the Alchemist any second now.
Yep, that's where
Critical
Aggressive
mass.
step back.
Yeah, he's going to be reaching critical mass pretty soon, pre-30 minutes on an Alchemist. Then he's going to be able to start handing out those Aghanims, the Centaur one, the big one.
I mean, Ogre has a pretty cool axe.
Yeah, I would probably give it to the Ogre last, though.
Control, you know. All right. Now they're here. They've got Aggressive. This is it, VGJ. I mean, one more bad fight. I don't know. I could see them just being like,
I could see them just
game.
Especially after the last way that they called it. I do believe so. I mean, here we go.
Okay.
Getting initiated.
My
He's
God, they're
bursted
sustained.
instantly.
Their mech already gotten out of the fight. The Monkey King ult's dished out, but Chappie runs right through it, treating it as a battle royale. The Monkey King ult was stolen from the Rubik too, so the Rubik fleet flies out. They surround and get a hold of the Crystal Maiden and finish her off. Still diving deep behind the tower here. Aggressive Metamorph trying to fend off all these pesky illusions, but it's Empire doubling back, getting the finish on the precious Tier 1, and confidently striding on forward here. Probably waiting out the back end of this Metamorphosis, but this Tier 2 seems to also be theirs. Again, you think you're big, bad, tanky, over Pit Lord, whatever.
Oh, Aggressive.
Bursted immediately, but Aggressive barely able to make it back inside. The last few moments of his Metamorph, trying to get some good shots on the Chappie, but turn around. This might be game.
He doesn't have buyback either. But they are diving into Tier 3s with the Tier 2 still up, so they do need to kill the Tier 2 first. Here we go.
And it's down.
And they're going to go back and farm up, and they are now... I'm scared to look at it.
I'll look at it.
Okay, you tell me.
It's over. GG's called.
Oh, okay. I thought you were kidding.
It was a 15K gold lead.
Yeah, 15K gold lead.
Gosh, and VGJ are in a serious rough spot right now.
Yeah, they seem to be having some...
They're like highlight... and you know what? It's like... You want to give them the invite to Kiev based on the performance of Star Series because that was when they were hot shots. They were in prime, but there was 7.04 since then, right? And the meta shifted. People recognize what they're good with. They ban appropriately. And now VGJ just have no more fire.
That was, I mean, that was just the Empire show. It wasn't just like Vici not playing very well because we do have to say that Vici was definitely looking at lackluster in this series in particular, but Empire is just kicking it up. Their draft on point, last pick Alchemist, really nothing Empire could really respond with. They tried to do some aggressive moves. They got a couple nice kills off, but at the end of the day, Empire's draft just showing much more power and it just able to steamroll right over Vici with their team fight.
Yeah, and even in game number 1, though the Naga continued to give them a lot of trouble, they recognized when they had to kind of push the objective at hand and were able to kind of close things out. So got to give a lot of credit to the Empire boys. With that win, that puts them up, what they have now 7 points,
7 points now, yeah.
So
man, it's weird too. Like having a clear-cut initiator just seems so important in these games too. Like this time they had the Underlord when they usually do have an initiator. The Underlord just seems like it's like, okay, he just gets ran at even though he can have mech and everything. It just, when there is an initiator, it just seems so much stronger. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I can understand. You're just kind of putting out the frustration for VGJ.
Yeah, I'm a bit frustrated for them as well.
Yeah, because again, I hate to put them in that spot, but these are Kiev invite. They're invites right now, so you got to be frustrated. Like these guys are going to be soon playing with some of the best in the world, and you got to feel for them here. Luckily for them, can't get eliminated in the group stage, but it's now them in the lower bracket, and they'll be fighting for it. But hey, Empire. Possible second seed. We'll have to see. Other games have been happening. We have games to finish out tomorrow. It's going to be an exciting one, but let's go to bed, dude. I'm tired. I am tired. It is about 12:30 here local time.
The
I'm ready to get some
CIS dream
sleep.
lives on. They look like they are going to probably make it through to the upper bracket for that group, but we don't want to jinx them just yet.
Who would have predicted that? Probably no one. Everyone was for sure saying Empire were one of the underdogs, if not the underdogs, so good for them. All right. I'm Dakota. That's Fog. Guys, we will see you tomorrow for more DAC Dota action. Please take care and enjoy the rest of your day or night. Bye-bye.